Is it time to forgive Polaroid? I think so. You know, we've all been in this relationship with Polaroid ever since version 2.0 came out, wondering when we were going to get good film. You know, for a long time, I've invested in Polaroid materials with the hope that one day I would have something that was close to what we used to have with the original Polaroid SX70 and 600 speed materials. And in 2024, I think we're close. It is not the same material, but it's good. It's quite good. And I, for one, am willing to sort of forgive Polaroid for bringing me into an abusive relationship where they just kept taking money from me for a long period of time while they developed the process. But now they're at least delivering the goods once again. However, having said that, I think it's important that Polaroid learns a lesson from this. Right now, Polaroid is primarily targeting all of their energies at new photographers, at people who are just getting into instant film photography, and they're not appealing to photographers like me in any way, shape, or form who have decades of experience in working with instant photography. I think about the Polaroid collections that I was part of, and I think about all the artists that were in those collections. I don't see those artists being engaged by Polaroid in any type of meaningful way. And that's a massive market that Polaroid is missing out on. And I think that Polaroid should take a look at what came before and see if you can bring those people back. I hear all the time here on this website and other websites, whenever I talk about Polaroid, I always have someone will say to me, I'm done working with Polaroid. I tried it, I spent money on it, and it didn't work. I'm not doing it anymore. But then I asked them when that was, and in most cases, it was years ago. So the Polaroid film that's out now is not the Polaroid film of 2020, 2018, 2017, 2016. It's new, and it's good. It's not as good as the original film, but it probably never will be. It's gonna be a different beast. But if you are an instant photography shooter, I think it's viable. So if you turned away from Polaroid years ago, give it another shot. I think you might be surprised. But Polaroid, you have to do a little bit of work on your own. This is therapy session here. You have to do some work as well. You've got to fix some of those bridges that you burned years ago in this process and reach out to photographers who have used your material for decades and bring them back into the fold. I can think back throughout my career, countless examples where companies discontinued a product because there was a perception that there wasn't enough of a market share to keep it going forward. Yet, a few years later, they struggle to bring that product back. I think about Ektachrome of Kodak. That's a classic example. You know, I was at a cafe in Vergennes, Vermont, having a great espresso, and I got a phone call from Eastman Kodak saying, hey, just wanted to let you know, we're discontinuing Ektachrome film on Monday. And this was years ago. And I was shocked, but they said, well, the reality is Ektachrome only makes up a tiny portion of our overall portfolio, and it just doesn't make sense. Fade in, fade out, a couple years later, they're recreating Ektachrome, which was very difficult to do, but they were able to bring it back. But think of the other countless examples. Peel apart film, you know, Polaroid itself, Ferrania. I mean, Ferrania's Kickstarter was successful and they promised to film for a really long time. And there are a lot of people out there who are really upset with Ferrania. Yet Ferrania did eventually deliver the goods, and they were able to bring back a wonderful black and white film. They haven't brought back the transparency film that they promised, but at least they're going in the right direction. They've brought back 35, they've brought back 120. And I think that this is sort of my take with all of these companies. In 2024, I think we need to step back for a minute and say, what's good for me? What's good for the companies? What's good for the medium? And I think there's a time now to move past a lot of the problems of the last decade and look forward to how positive everything is right now in 2024. Thank you very much for listening. I can't wait to hear your thoughts. Now go shoot some film.